We live in interesting times. Today's stories. Brazil's Bolsonaro lashes out at deforestation figures.
15 dias depois.
Vienna launches into the takeaway coffee cup with a deposit.
Generell sehr auf das Thema Nachhaltigkeit.
Pakistan's toxic love affair with waste. Youth for Climate France activists protest at the Russian embassy. Buzzkill. Mass bee deaths sting Russian beekeepers. Democratic presidential candidates address climate change during second debate.
Cities for either one of those. Either one.
Albanian mussels suffocate as global warming takes toll. Plus, in New York, Dessert Goals 2019 mixes business and fun.
Any design we could create it.
Hello everyone, I am Rose Papa Angeles, bringing you stories from around the globe. And this is Eagle News, broadcasting from Washington, D.C. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro again attacked a government department that publishes deforestation data on the Amazon, as his administration tries to contain the fallout after recent figures suggest a spike.
Se esses números todos fossem verdadeiros, a Amazônia já teria sido devastada 3 vezes ao longo dos últimos 20 anos. É isso que temos que combater. O problema é a imprensa, que o dado saiu lá de dentro, de órgãos nossos. Essa aqui é a preocupação grande que nós temos. Eu acho até que, aprofundando os estudos, ver se, por acaso, essas pessoas divulgaram de má fé esses informes para prejudicar o governo atual e bem como desgastar a imagem do Brasil, porque nós estamos dando um salto, sim, no tocante de um novo relacionamento com o mundo, na base exatamente de uma palavrinha chamada confiança.
Mais de 20 milhões de pessoas vivem ali. E nós não podemos desconsiderar a existência dessas pessoas e fazer de conta que não há a necessidade de dar o dinamismo econômico necessário para que eles tenham uma vida digna numa região tão rica, mas com tantos miseráveis.
To limit the consumption of single-use cups and their impact on the environment, an Austrian company has developed a returnable and reusable solution in the city center. The initiative, called My Coffee Cup, aims to promote the use of recyclable and reusable cups that can be exchanged for credit at partners' premises or an automatic machine.
Platz für diese Becher. Wir haben über 84 Millionen Einwegbecher werden jedes Jahr benutzt und diese Summe ist gigantisch und wenn man da den Kampf ansetzt, kann man etwas erreichen und da haben wir gesagt, okay, da muss man was entwickeln, es muss aber für den Gastronomen funktionieren, es muss für den Konsumenten funktionieren und es muss angenehm und einfach sein, aber es muss auch ökologisch sein.
Kunden sind, ich glaube generell unsere Kunden sind generell sehr auf das Thema Nachhaltigkeit und Sustainability eingestellt und finden das eigentlich super, dass wir das unterstützen und machen da auch sehr, sehr, sehr gerne mit.
Also ich begrüße die Initiative sehr, weil ich trinke eigentlich täglich Kaffee, manchmal auf dem Weg zur Arbeit und wenn ich gerade keine Zeit habe, es sind schon unglaublich viele Kaffeebecher, die verbraucht werden.
Die nächsten Schritte sind definitiv die Erschließung des Marktes jetzt innerstädtisch und dann natürlich auf ganz Wien das Projekt auszurollen, dass der Kunde das in ganz Wien nutzen kann.
Super. Every year, millions of coffees are bought in Vienna to take away. The initiative, called My Coffee Cup, started 2.5 months ago. Their purpose? To eliminate 1 million single-use cups, which would save 42 million liters of water and almost 2,000 tons of wood per year. The company already has 60,000 cups in circulation and some 60 partners, mainly coffee and bakery shops. The cups, which can be used up to 500 times, can be exchanged at partners' premises or at automatic machines located, for example, near metro stations that can be located via a mobile application. The €1 deposit is then returned via a paper voucher or credited to the My Coffee Cup application. The project designers, currently in a pilot phase, hope to extend the system to the entire city if the results are conclusive. From the once pristine rivers of Hindu Kush to the slums of Islamabad, Pakistan is being smothered by plastic due to a lack of public awareness, government inertia, and poor waste management. According to the Pakistan Plastic Manufacturers Association, plastic bags are a large part of the problem. The nation uses some 55 billion of them each year. Beaches deluged with plastic waste and dying marine life entangled in bags have shocked other countries into action. Around 120 have implemented some form of single-use plastic ban. Pakistan is among them but struggles with enforcement. There is no cohesive national policy, and regional efforts often fail to consider the importance of educational outreach, with many in rural areas claiming to be unaware of the damage single-use plastic can wreak. According to a study by the German Environmental Research Center Helmholtz, waste litters the roadsides and hillsides. It also clogs the streams that feed into the Indus River, which is now the second most plastic-polluted river in the world, behind only the Yangtze River in China. Plastic swamped the Arabian Sea coastline, where the sewers of the sprawling port city of Karachi spew its waste. According to the United Nations, single-use plastic bags kill up to 1 million birds, hundreds of thousands of marine mammals and turtles, along with countless fish each year. And yet in Pakistan, authorities say the amount of plastic use is increasing by 15% each year. Recycling options are limited and waste disposal is often woefully mismanaged. Even in the capital, garbage is often simply burned in the street. Hassan Sipra, an environmental researcher, said, quote, "Plastic doesn't degrade. It only becomes smaller and smaller. Animals eat it. You eat them. Then it generates liver dysfunctions, diabetes, diarrhea. But because it is cheap and convenient, people don't see the health consequences." A new report by the World Wildlife Fund, or the WWF, estimates that an average person ingests up to 5 grams of plastic a week, roughly equal to the weight of a credit card. Nazifa Butt, a researcher with WWF, said plastic bags have become part of the culture in Pakistan. She said, quote, "We would never use a cup of tea without a saucer. You will never be sold anything without a plastic bag. It is considered insulting." In Int'l, authorities first tried to ban plastic bags in 2017 with an additional measure passed earlier this year stating that only biodegradable bags, also criticized for their environmental impact, can be used in the area. According to a local official, authorities have also backed new environmental awareness campaigns in schools. But many shops still do not use biodegradable bags, and enforcement against single-use plastic remains minimal. Shabir Ahmad, chairman of the Int'l Traders Union, said, quote, "The local government is not sincere." He explains they never check the market. They don't find the shopkeepers. Provincial governments in Sindh and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, along with municipal authorities in Lahore, have issued similar bans, but little has changed on the ground due to lack of law enforcement. However, Prime Minister Imran Khan's government, which has long vowed to make environmental issue a priority, is hoping to reverse the plastic tsunami, says Climate Change Minister Malik Amin Aslam. As of August 14, plastic bags will be banned in the capital Islamabad, with violators subject to heavy fines. Hoping that the ban in Islamabad will serve as a model for the rest of the country, Aslam said, "This love affair with plastic has to end in Pakistan." Plastic manufacturers, who say up to 400,000 people work directly or indirectly in the industry, have also raised concerns. But the Khan's government says action is necessary regardless. Aslam says, quote, "It's a health menace. It's an economic menace. It's an environmental menace. It is something that we need to get rid of."
If they can do it in Paris, we can do it in Pakistan.
Plastic is a huge disturbance in the whole world, which has disturbed our environment, and this is disturbing our water channels and water pipelines, and our sewerage system, which has been disturbed and be closed by plastics, and whole world is being disturbed by using this plastic in huge number.
The things which have bends, people use more and more that one. Bend is not the solution of this one. I think my opinion is to be educate the people, to educate the shopkeepers, to educate any business people. It will be superior as according to bends.
About 30 activists with Youth for Climate attempt to block the Russian embassy in protest of the Yamal LNG liquefied natural gas mega project run by Russia's Novatek in Arctic Siberia. The activist also expresses solidarity with those arrested in a Russian opposition protest over the weekend.
Aujourd'hui, on était à l'ambassade de Russie en soutien aux manifestants russes qui ont été enfermés ces derniers jours. D'énergie fossile, donc ce sera un forage de gaz en liquéfaction. Donc forcément, qui dit forage d'énergie fossile dit pollution, dit dangereux pour l'environnement. Parce que l'urgence climatique, elle est maintenant. On a jusqu'à 18 mois, on a 18 mois encore pour changer les choses, puisqu'on doit rester en dessous du seuil de 1,5 voire 2 degrés. Le mieux serait 1,5 degrés évidemment, puisque les conséquences climatiques sont graves. L'urgence, elle est là, il faut agir maintenant, puisque 2030, ce sera trop tard.
Coming up, buzzkill, mass bee deaths sting Russian beekeepers. Democratic presidential candidates address climate change during second debate. Albanian mussels suffocate as global warming takes toll. Plus, in New York, Dessert Goals 2019 mixes business and fun. Eagle News will be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News. Bees are dying en masse in the Russian region of Tula, 200 kilometers south of Moscow, because of the uncontrolled use of a pesticide containing a neurotoxin banned in the European Union. Russia's agriculture watchdog confirmed the bee deaths were caused by uncontrolled use of insecticides and acknowledged that their use is not being monitored closely. Anatoly Rabsov looked despondently at the beehives lining his property. He said, quote, "The farm used to be loud. It sang. Today, just a faint buzz is audible, but an overpowering rotting stench hung in the air after his bees were likely poisoned by a pesticide." Rabsov, who keeps a large honeybee farm on the edge of a small village in the Tula region south of Moscow, is one of hundreds of beekeepers across Russia to report mass bee deaths that have robbed them of their livelihood.
В этом году у нас было 80 с лишним семей, 82 точно погибли в связи с обработкой предприятия, агропредприятием, ядом монарх. И пчелы у нас погибли, начали гибнуть с 5 вечера, 6, 7. И вот до сих пор продолжает сыпаться. Вы наблюдали. Из Ростова приезжали. Здесь у нас, как сказать, экологически чистый уголок был. Но его вот так обработали теперь и научили, что сюда приезжать опасно.
That is over 3 million dead bees, and Rabsov estimated his losses at 1.6 million rubles, or $25,000. All the bees in the vicinity have met the same fate. People around Bobrovka are certain that the culprit is a local company growing rapeseed, a cash crop with yellow flowers used for cooking oil, cattle feed, and biofuel that treated its fields with insecticides on July 4. Viktor Morozov, another beekeeper who kept hives in a nearby forest, filmed empty pesticide containers lying on the ground alongside the rapeseed fields, but said the workers denied using a strong insecticide that contains fipronil.
Инсектициды, запрещенные в Европе, хлынули к нам, в Россию. И фермеры из-за дешевизны этих препаратов обрабатывают ими поля. Ну, в итоге гибнут пчелы, травятся люди. Ну, кто-то должен, конечно, за это отвечать, но я не знаю, ответит ли.
A lab in Moscow eventually confirmed the presence on the rapeseed plants of fipronil, which is legal in Russia, provided certain precautions are taken but banned in the European Union. Rabsov said, quote, "They broke all the rules possible regarding spraying." Anti-Agri, the accused company, denied that it broke any rules. Its director Irina Tsubtsina said, "We followed all instructions. Worker bees gathered the toxic nectar and brought it to the hive, where even bees born days later were poisoned." On night 2 of the second set of Democratic 2020 presidential primary debates, the candidates addressed climate change and the urgent need for a solution.
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those, any fossil fuel.
We cannot work it out. We cannot work this out. The time is up. Our house is on fire. We have to stop using coal in 10 years. And we need a president to do it or it won't get done. Get off coal. Save this country and the planet. That's what I'm for.
We currently have a president in the White House who obviously does not understand the science. He's been pushing science fiction instead of science fact. The guy thinks that wind turbines cause cancer, but what in fact they cause is jobs. And the reality is that I would take any Democrat on this stage over the current president of the United States, who is rolling it back to our collective peril. We must have and adopt a Green New Deal on day one.
Nobody should get applause for rejoining the Paris Climate Accords. That is kindergarten. We have to go to far advance and make sure that everything from our trade deals, everything from the billions of dollars we spend to foreign aid, everything must be sublimated to the challenge and the crisis that is existential, which is dealing with the climate threat. And yes,
global warming is a concern for Albanian mussel farmers in Butrint on the Ionian coast. Their mussels have difficulty withstanding rising sea temperatures, and production has dropped from 6,000 tons in the 1990s to about 2,000 tons today. Violet Mihasi doesn't hide her concern while working on her barge on a salt lagoon in the southern tip of Albania, her mussels clinging to ropes dangled in the water. The mussel farmer fears another poor harvest this year of the particularly fleshy mussel, dubbed the Queen of Butrint, which is suffocating as temperatures rise.
Vargun, për shembull tash mund të jetë 1 kg apo 2 apo 3 në shtator. Fillon e rritet, në janar kjo mund të japin 15 kg, 20 kg. Dhe jam shumë e kënaqur kur ka prodhim. Por kur na i mbyt gërqelja dhe karauli, neve jemi në zero. Siç e hedhim, ashtu humbasim.
The warmer waters of the Butrint Lagoon on the Ionian coast, not far from the Greek border, also encourage parasites that starve the once thriving bivalves of oxygen. Mihasi says to rid the mussel of the microorganisms, the farmers pull the ropes out of the water, allowing them to breathe on the surface for 2 days before plunging them back in. Nevertheless, harvests have so significantly dropped over the last 3 decades. According to Agriculture Ministry figures in 1990, some 6,000 tons of mussels were pulled from the ropes dangling from the barges. Nowadays, in a good year, the haul for the lagoon's around 60 mussel farmers is barely half that. And last year, it dropped to 2,000 tons when water temperatures were stuck at more than 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Half of the young mussels, known as spat, which were immersed on the ropes at the start of the summer, died in 2018. The deadly temperatures threshold has already been reached this summer, although July storms brought some relief.
Po jam I shqetësuar sepse temperatura mund të arrijë temperaturë shumë e nxehta, shumë ashtu dhe çdo gjë prishet.
Midhja është humbse më e madhe si pasojë e rritjes temperaturave të ambientit, sepse ajo nuk lëviz që të kërkojë ambient tjetër më të ftohtë dhe më të freskët dhe përjeton temperaturën derisa humb jetën e vet.
Aktualisht ne flasim temperaturat kanë ngritur në rreth 30 gradë Celsius, pothuajse afër sipërfaqes, deri në 1,5 metër thellësi, gjë që është pastaj letale për midhjet.
And now for some sweet news. Eagle News New York got to chat with a cake pop maker at Dessert Goals 2019 in New York City as she shares with us how the event mixes business and fun. Abby Mayo reports.
So the event is Dessert Goals. Just 20 vendors from all over New York City. If you have a sweet tooth, this is the place to be. We make cake pops for all sorts of occasions. And if you could think of any design, we could create it and put it on a stick. This was a hobby that I started several years ago. I stopped working because I had kids. It's just something that was fun, and then it became a business. This is my husband, Jonathan. Well, I do the fun stuff. He does the not so fun stuff. It's good to have someone who's with me on this. My daughter likes to help out. She brings her friends to the bakery, and they help out any way they can, whether it's like building boxes or counting, anything really. You definitely need to have a passion for it. There are a lot of things that I learned that no one ever told me about owning a small business, but it's also having to find the right team. I'm very thankful for the team that I have. I wouldn't be able to do this without them.
Where everyone has a sweet tooth. Reporting from Dessert Goals in Long Island City, New York, this has been Abby Mayo, your EBC correspondent, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Abby. That is today's Eagle News. Join us tomorrow for stories that matter to you. Visit our websites at eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/eaglenews and on Facebook at facebook.com/eaglenews. Thank you for watching. I am Rose Papa Angeles, and I am 1 with 25.